Hey, Kurt Stone. It's Andy Hoffman, your third favorite geek. Congratulations on 500 episodes of Podcasting Glory. What an amazing accomplishment. Be proud of what you've done. Kurt, I also want to thank you for the amazing friendships I've developed because of the podcast. If it wasn't for this show, I would not have run a G3, and I would not have made some amazing friendships, which led to Floor Charcuterie Board, reenacting the Planes, Trades, and Automobiles pillow, and my new quest for sleeping on all the toddler beds at the TVC resorts. Kurt, thank you. Congratulations again on 500 episodes.
My friend Andy. Yeah, it's been 573 episodes of this podcast, and I appreciate all of you. Hey, Disney geeks, Curtis Stone here. I'm the Podfather host of this amazing geeking family. And ahoy! And welcome aboard to our Disney cruise enthusiasts. Get ready to set sail with the unofficial guide to Disney cruises with author Tammy Whiting, who will give us expert insights, tell us how to avoid common pitfalls when cruising, and discover the magic of Disney's newest island paradise, Lookout Key. I'm having fun talking and hanging out with friends like Tammy and my good friend Auntie Judy, who's going to help me host this episode. We've been reviewing Disney parks, Disney World tips and tricks and hacks and cruises for over 10 years. If you're new to this podcast, welcome. I started the podcast with my daughter Lindsay, talking about our Disney World trips, and now we bring on our Disney geeks to tell their trip stories, and even authors of the unofficial guide and other books to give us lots of tips and tricks. Our listeners are so positive, caring, generous, and they are experienced Disney geeks. You're going to get lots of ideas and tips for your next trip to Disney World from their real-world experiences and trip reports. We encourage a family atmosphere here on the show. We'd love for you two to join our geeking family. A great way to do that is check out our amazing private discussion group in Facebook. Search for Geekin' on WW Family in Facebook. You can ask questions, share your trip pictures, and just have fun with one of the best group of Disney World geeks on the internet. We're independent Disney authorized travel guides with FTC Elite Travel. We'd love to be your Disney travel guides, help you book your room, tickets, and dining reservations. You'll notice many of our guests on the podcast book their trips, or they book their own trips, and they transfer those trip bookings over to the Travelin' Tiaras. That's my wife, Margita, Auntie Judy, her good friend, who's with us today on this episode, and they are the Travelin' Tiaras. Reach out to travelintiaras@gmail.com. That's their email. Great way to get started. Check the show notes or our website. You'll see their email as well as mine. If you'd like to reach out to us to talk about your next adventure with Disney cruises, Adventures by Disney, all of the above, even Universal Studios. We love chatting about Disney World with you guys every single day. I love it when I get to talk to the unofficial guide authors. This week, joining us is Tammy Whiting. She's the brilliant author behind the unofficial guide to Disney cruises coming out later this year. She's here to share her wealth of knowledge, including the top 10 mistakes to avoid on your Disney cruise adventure, 10 can't miss experiences that will make your voyage truly magical, and exclusive insights from her recent visit to Disney's brand new island getaway, Lookout Key. But that's not all, friends. We've also got burning questions from our devoted listeners that Tammy will be answering. So whether you're a seasoned Disney cruiser or dreaming of that first voyage, get ready to unlock the secrets of making your Disney cruise experience unforgettable. Batten down the hatches and throw out the anchor and prepare to embark on a journey filled with expert tips, hidden treasures, and a sprinkle of that special Disney magic we call pixie dust. Let's set sail. I get an email from a newsletter from the unofficial guide people who if you've been with the podcast for a while, I have interviewed many of the authors over the 10 years of the podcast. Been very fortunate to do that. And I saw something that really caught my eye about cruises. And I know my good friend Judy, who's here with me, she's been talking nothing but cruises ever since she got back from her last one.
And her first one.
Yeah. And she's already getting ready for the next one. So when I told her I'd be interviewing another unofficial guide to Disney Cruises author, and this is for the 2025 book that's coming out later this year, please give a warm Geek and Family welcome to Tammy Whiting. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, thank you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
Is this the first time you're getting credited as an author for the unofficial guides?
I think second, it depends on when they're all published, I guess, they're posted.
Okay. Have you been working on the 2025? Where are you in the process?
For the book. Yes, this is my first time as an author on the book, and I've contributed to it for many years, but this is the first time to be credited as an author. I am in the final stages now. It's actually due to the editor the week after next. So it's crunch time. I'm buckling down and finishing everything up.
I told you I'll try to keep you to an hour, but I really like these blog posts that you did on the Unofficial Guides website. And
thank you.
I thought we'd use these, and Judy can comment on these as we go through these. And then we got a couple of questions from our community too. Y'all ready for the challenge?
I'm ready.
The first one I wanted to talk about was, and this is something you don't ever want to do, is make mistakes when you go on a Disney World, or especially, I guess, a Disney cruise. But you had the 10 mistakes to avoid on board of a Disney cruise was the first article I was looking at.
Yes.
What's one of the mistakes you don't want to do on your
One of the mistakes, I think the biggest mistake is coming in the day of a cruise. Don't ever come in the day of your cruise. It's too risky. I always say, if your plane gets delayed, you don't make it to Disney World at the start of your vacation, it's okay. Your vacation still happens. Your plane gets delayed and you miss the start of your cruise, your vacation does not happen. It's not worth the risk. You've spent a lot of money on this, don't risk it.
And they take off, right? Whether you're there or not.
And they do. And it's easy these days. Flights get delayed for all kinds of reasons. We used to think it's only in the winter, and it's not. It's wind. It's the pilot's not making it on time. It's all kinds of reasons. So there are a lot of things that can delay your flights and cause you to miss connections and all of that. So it's a big risk you're taking if you have to come in morning.
And Tammy, the other thing that I can tie right into that is the one thing our cruise director said over and over. When you go on an excursion, don't be late getting back on the ship, or you'll be waving to us from the dock as we
That's right.
without you. They don't wait.
They don't. They love to say you're going to get a really good picture of the ship as it's sailing away and leaving you there.
I like the strict itinerary. Be on time.
That's right.
All right. Number 2.
Number 2, don't forget your passport or proof of citizenship. Depending on what kind of sailing you're on, you're going to need passport or proof of citizenship. And if you forget those, you are not getting on. I like to say pretty much everything in my suitcase, once I got there, if I forgot it, I could buy it somewhere. I can find it in a port. I can buy it on board. I can buy everything. You cannot buy those things, and you cannot get on board without them. So don't forget them. It should be the last thing you check as you're walking out the door.
So a license from your state will work just fine. You don't need a passport.
You do need a passport for everything except a closed loop cruise. And a closed loop cruise is a cruise that starts and ends in the same United States city. Round trip out of Port Canaveral, you do not technically need a passport. We still recommend them. It's going to make emergencies easier. If something should happen, it's going to make it easier for you to get home. But technically, you do not need a passport for those closed loop cruises, and you can sail with just a government issued photo ID, driver's license, as you said, will work, or along with an official birth certificate copy.
So you need both a license and a birth certificate or the passport.
That's right. And for children, they can just have the official birth certificate.
I haven't gotten my passport yet. How long does it usually take? What's the general rule?
I say give it 3 months. It's running shorter than that. During COVID, it was longer, of course, and there are times when it'll get longer, but I give it 3 months just to be safe.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3, don't skip insurance. Walt Disney World insurance I can see reasons to take it, not take it. cruise insurance is so important. And the main reason for that is that you are traveling in a foreign country, and many insurance companies do not cover travel in a foreign country. So if something happens, you're on your own dime there. And my mother is an example. We were cruising in Greece many years ago, and she's very healthy. It was a 14-day cruise, 13-day cruise. Day 2, she started feeling bad. By day 3, she had pneumonia and ended up in the medical center for a couple of days. They sent her to a hospital when we docked in Athens. They wanted to keep her in the hospital. They did not, thankfully, keep her in the hospital. So she was able to get back on the ship with us and finish the cruise and started feeling better later in the cruise. But her bills were over $5,000 just for that. And if she had stayed in that hospital, they would have been tens of thousands of dollars, not to mention she would have had to get herself home afterwards.
Wow. Yeah. So you're in a foreign land. There's lots of reasons to have insurance.
Right.
All right. Number 4.
Number 4, don't book a room you won't like.
How do you know if you're going to like it before you get there?
If you know that you are not an inside room person and you're going to hate not being able to see the ocean at all, don't book an inside room. There are upgrades at the port available at times, and there are great deals when they're available. They're very popular, of course, and so you can't count on them. So I always say book what you're going to be happy in. And if you get to the port and there is a cheap upgrade available, even better. But book something you'll be happy in to begin with.
We booked I'm on a scooter, and we booked an accessible room, and they were probably twice as big as a normal stateroom. I could drive the scooter in. I could turn it around. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yes, those are great. Yeah, super helpful. I know.
So you were happy with your room, right, Judy?
We were very happy. We had 2 big portholes that we could look out every day. I did not miss not having a veranda because we weren't in the room that much.
It's true. You're not in the room that much sometimes. Yeah.
I like the picture of the room in the blog post. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty spacious too.
Oh, thank you.
Number 5.
Number 5, don't pack your essentials in your checked bags. You know, this is good practice when traveling in general. But when you get to the port, you're going to pass off your bags. Or if you're coming from, say, Walt Disney World and you're taking a Disney transfer, you might pass it off there at the resort. There's different. But at some point, you're going to pass off your big bags to someone else, to the porters. And you're not going to see them again until later in the first afternoon. Sometimes they'll come pretty quickly. By the time you get in your room at 1:30ish, they're there. But many times they'll come 4 or 5, somewhere in there, which is totally manageable unless you have children that have seen the pools and how exciting they look and they don't have any swimsuits with them. They're all in that check bag. So you want some essentials like that in a carry-on that you can take on board with you and have immediate access to.
You're not too worried that it's going to be another day. They're not going to lose your bags. Are you worried?
It's very unlikely. I'm not going to say that's never happened, but very unlikely.
Okay.
I was so impressed at the port at how many porters there were, how they came right away to your car. They got your bags. They made sure the tags were on, and they were gone. It was really well done.
They do, and they always stand there and they say, do you have medications that you need? Do you have your proof of citizenship or passports with you? They do a final check with you, which is helpful.
What's the number 6 mistake you don't want to make?
Number 6, don't try to do too much. It's funny because people think they're going to be bored if they've never done a cruise before. They're worried they're going to be bored on that ship. And you realize pretty quickly when you start scrolling through that navigator and looking at all the activities, just the first day, there's way too much to do. You could never do it all. And especially on your first cruise, I like to say, don't exhaust yourself trying to do everything. We say the same thing at Disney World. Don't exhaust yourself. You're going to be much happier if you take a break and you don't go from sun up to sundown every day for 7 days in a row. Same kind of thing on a cruise. Don't exhaust yourself. Do the things that look the most fun to you. Come back another time and do other things. So it gives you another reason to cruise.
Gotta have some relaxed time, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Downtime. Lots of activities. Yeah, I can get caught in that trap.
And the day goes so fast. If you
Yes.
think Disney time goes fast in the parks, a cruise day, I think, goes even faster than that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can believe it. I
Yeah.
know what you mean. They really do a great job. How can you know what some of the activities are before you even get on there?
You can go, there are some websites in particular that will post, Scott Sanders, the Disney Cruise Line blog. He's got a great website And he'll post navigators. When people return from cruises, they'll send him screen recordings. They used to be paper sheets, but now it's screen recordings of the activities. And you can find a similar sailing to one you're going on and get a pretty good idea of some things that happen.
Oh, cool. Because it can be different for each cruise then.
Again, some things are pretty standard, like the Wish 4 nights are going to be pretty much the same every time with some variety and entertainment, things like that. But it's going to be pretty standard. So you can scroll through that and see.
Judy, this next one's for Ken. What's number 7, Tammy?
Don't overspend time.
Right.
There you go, Ken.
It's vacation. And those kids clubs, they have some activities until late at night. And if your child's used to going to bed at 8 o'clock, they're going to be so sad when they miss some of those things. So we try to take it easy on vacation. They can sleep in the next day. Just don't be quite as tough as you would at home.
And it's okay if they eat ice cream for dinner
Absolutely.
on vacation. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Same thing.
There's always some ice cream available, right?
Always ice cream available.
For breakfast.
For breakfast.
What's number 8?
Number 8 is don't skip room service. Room service is actually really good on the cruise. And Disney is one of the few lines left these days that it's totally included in the price of your cruise. It is free. There are a few packaged snacks that cost, but they're very clearly marked on the menu, like a can of Coke instead of going up to the deck and getting a fountain soda or a candy bar, a wrapped candy bar. There's some things like that cost money, but they're very well marked and you don't have to order those, of course, but everything else is totally free. And you're going to want to tip the person that brings it to you. But other than that, it's good. It's nice to have a little snack before dinner if you're waiting for dinner. All Hands on Deck is super popular cheese platter that people like to order before dinner. You can order Mickey bars for dessert at night. There's lots of options there.
That's the one thing we did not do. Because by the time we got back to the room at night, we were so tired that we just went to bed. And it wasn't until we were off the ship that I thought, we never ordered room service.
It's hard to make time for it sometimes.
It is.
It's nice. It's also nice to have breakfast. Just order breakfast. You order it the night before. You put a little card out on your stateroom door that says what you want and what time you want it, and they'll bring it by. And you can order coffee. And you can all kinds of things for breakfast. Then you just wake up and you can have breakfast in bed or breakfast on your veranda.
Well, you won't make that mistake next time, Judy.
Nope.
I hope you don't go hungry on this cruise, Tammy. Judy.
Oh, no.
You don't miss a meal, do you?
Oh, no.
Never.
I wasn't worried about that. This is even another reason why you'll never miss a meal. Just have them bring it to you.
Although
right.
I was so excited the day we arrived that we boarded the ship that we almost forgot to eat lunch.
Too excited, yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Number 9.
Number 9, don't put things off to the last night. I'm very bad about that. I will say, oh, I need to take a picture of that. I want to go do such and such. I'll do it the last night. I'll go look at this location the last night. The last night, you're exhausted. You're probably exhausted. There's things happening. There's a character meet and greet the last night. There's lots of fun things happening the last night. So I say, don't put it off. Do the things you want to do. Stay up a little bit later. Get things done. You want to make sure before you get off, and don't put everything off.
Good advice, even for Disney World. If you got a chance to do something, do it, because you might not get a second chance.
Absolutely. It goes faster than you think it will, like Judy said.
Absolutely. Number 10.
Number 10, don't get off without booking a placeholder. So a placeholder is a reservation for a future cruise, and it's a discount on a future cruise. It's $250. You can book up to 2 for the same sail date in the future. So $250 for each stateroom if you did 2 of them. And will get you 10% off your next cruise, and you pay a reduced deposit if it's a longer cruise for everything except concierge. And if there's any chance that you will take a cruise in the next 2 years, book these placeholders because they'll save you money. And it's a no-lose proposition. If you don't use your placeholder, you can call and get your money back immediately, or you can just let it expire after 2 years and Disney will automatically credit you the $250. It's no lose. Just do it.
Great tip.
I have a question, Tammy.
Sure.
What if you book a cruise, say tomorrow, and then you sail in September and you book a placeholder? Can you transfer that placeholder to the cruise you booked earlier?
Yes, that's a very good question. And people ask that too. Should I wait and book it once I'm on board? And I always say book it right now. When you know you want to cruise, book now. And then what you will do is when you get on board, say in September, you would book the placeholder. and then send it to your travel agent or call Disney Cruise Line when you get home. Tell them I rebooked on board, and they can compare prices. As long as your first cruise that you booked has not gone up more than 10%, which is the savings, then what they will do is they'll take money from that booking and just move it over to your new one. And if it has gone up more than 10%, they won't do it, and you would have saved money anyway. So yes, absolutely. But book again and compare.
Good to know.
Yeah, great tip. And that is true. If you're booking out a year out, the prices go up too. So you're locking in that price, right, Tammy?
Absolutely.
And I've always heard if you book, the earlier you book, the cheaper it's going to be too. You're not going to get a better price.
That is absolutely true, especially with Disney.
And I asked because I know that today, June 18th, they just dropped the end of 2025, 2026 cruise dates.
They sure did. They booked it. They dropped a whole lot.
Yes, they did. And we're already looking. And we're not cruising again until December. So I'm thinking, maybe I need to book one now.
Yes.
And
I recommend booking now, and then you can compare when you get on board.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get lots of tips tonight. We're going to get 10 more from another blog post. This one is 10 things you don't want to miss on a Disney cruise. Kind of the opposite. These are things you got to do.
Yes.
What's number one?
Oh, it sounds like Judy almost did this one. Don't miss Embarkation Day lunch. Embarkation Day lunch is a huge buffet. Depending on the ship, it's Marceline, Market, or Cabanas. And there's all kinds of things. It's my father's favorite meal on board. There are shrimp, there's crab legs. There's so many fun things that you might not see later on the cruise, especially. And you're just excited. It's exciting to sit down and talk about your plans, scroll through your navigator with your family and see what you want to do that week. Start marking things on there that you can save them as favorites, so it'll remind you when they're coming up. It's a fun meal, and it's a good meal too. So don't skip it.
Judy loves shrimp, and the picture you got here is the crab legs, shrimp, and looks like mussels or clams. Don't they? I know in Disney World, we were really upset when the buffet, the Cape Cod Cafe, Cape May Cafe, started charging you for the crab legs. Looks like the crab legs are on the buffet here.
Yep, they are, and there's no upcharge for them.
They're so good.
That is a reason by itself to not miss the Embarkation Day lunch. That's the beginning of your cruise, right? You don't see that word.
That's right. First day.
What's number two?
Number two is a super fun activity. I think Judy is here because she's laughing.
She's reading it. She's gone ahead.
Called Jack Jack's Diaper Dash. It happens on every sailing as long as there's enough babies to do it. And what it is, a baby race. It is the guests bring their babies. They can be any age, but they can't be walking yet. They have to be crawlers. And they set up, and like on the Wish, it takes place in the Hero Zone, a big sports room, activity room where the guests can stand, line the sides above and on the court and watch it happen. They bring the babies. They have a giant plastic mat, slightly padded mat with racing lanes. The one parent sits at one end of the mat with the baby. Another parent or sibling sits at the other end, and they do a big build up to the whole activity. The race starts. They count them down. The race starts. And the babies, in theory, are going to crawl to the parent or sibling on the other end.
Yeah.
Lots of things happen that are not planned. And it's hilarious every time. We love it. We try never to miss it.
And if they get up and walk, they get disqualified.
That's right.
No walkers.
That's right. They say if you get up and walk, we're all going to be excited. We're going to cheer. Yay, you walked, but you're disqualified.
You're cheaters. That's funny. Yeah, if you follow our Facebook group, Jeff Opolka, I think it was his nephew's son, won the race, or at least he got close. Don't they do different races and then it's like a tournament where you?
That's right.
If
there's enough finals, you'll do different heats. That's right.
Different heats, yeah. But I heard that there was no gambling on Disney cruises, Tammy.
There is. I don't know if anybody's actually placing bets on the baby.
It's not intended to be. Okay. Okay. That's I love that. That's got to be a lot of fun. All right. What's number three?
Castaway Key. You do not want to miss Castaway Key, and now I'm going to add Lookout Key to that since it's open now. These are beautiful island destinations that Disney has built, and they are, even if you're not a beach person, I totally recommend just getting off the ship, walking around, seeing what's there. You can have lunch there. There's lots of things to do besides sit or get in the water, but they're really beautiful destinations, and they're free and they're included in your cruise instead of having to pay like in St. Thomas to get to a beautiful beach. These are included in your cruise. So I recommend getting off and taking a look at the minimum, just taking a look around.
We're going to take a look at the new island in our third blog post. Judy's excited about that. Judy, weren't you asking me about that? Wondering?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to experience that in December. So
Excellent.
I'm really excited about that.
We're going to have Tammy tell us. So hang in there. We're going to get to that too. All right. What's another thing you don't want to miss on a Disney cruise?
Number 4 is specialty dining. I do not necessarily believe in spending any money on food when you're on board a ship. There is free food everywhere. There is no reason to pay for food. However, the specialty dining on board, Palo, Enchante, on all the ships, Palo or Palo Steakhouse, Enchante and Remy on the other ship, on some of the ships, are excellent meals. Excellent. Palo is our favorite meal. Palo brunch is probably my favorite meal anywhere. And they're not crazy expensive. Palo is $50 upcharge plus a tip. Enchante's $135, something around there. Remy, similar price. Those are more expensive. The French restaurants are more expensive. Palo's very reasonably priced for what you get. And they're delicious. And it's an adult-only atmosphere, too, which is nice to take a break from the kids. If you have small children, they could be in the kids' clubs. They could be in the nursery. There's things to do with them, and they'll be very happy. Not sitting through a long meal, but we love our meals in Palo and those specialty dining.
I think I've heard this, Palo, from everyone I've ever interviewed. You're just echoing. I think, Judy, you enjoyed that too, right?
We did very much.
Yeah. That's a must do, right? Palo.
Yeah.
Don't miss that one just because of the upcharge. Go for it. Budget that one in. I've heard that many times.
Sometimes it's hard to get.
It is. And I will recommend booking it as soon as you can, as soon as your booking window opens. And then also as soon as you get on board, go right to the location where they're doing dining changes, and it'll be listed in your Navigator app. Go right there and see if they can add you in. And they save a lot of reservations on board. So it's
we had to do that.
Yep.
We couldn't get it. And I went right down to deck 2 and we were able to get it.
Yes.
Do you think people cancel it last minute?
I think some people do cancel and that put you on a waiting list if it's full. Maybe if somebody wasn't feeling well that day or something else came up, then people do cancel from time to time.
Yeah. We've had people get it last minute too. All right. I think we're up to number 5.
Number 5, nightly shows. And so the shows on the ships at night, these are Broadway style productions. These are huge productions. And there's a few of them on every sailing. On longer cruises, they'll add some other things. They'll add some local entertainment, some comedians, things like that. But shorter sailings, all of them have these Broadway type shows, and they're really well done. I am struck every time by the talent of these performers, these crew members on board. They are just, I think, why are they not in making millions of dollars in movies? They're so good and such great singers, all of it. They're all very entertaining. These are mostly, the Broadway shows are all Disney, some kind of Disney thread to them, if not a full out Disney story. They're all good.
Yeah, great that they can.
One I didn't like.
My daughter and I have been seeing, she really loves Broadway. We're near New York. We go down quite a bit. We're going down again Saturday. And I'll tell you, Tammy, we saw a traveling show of Frozen, which I'm not one that has been overplayed by the music. And I got emotional even when I saw some of the songs played at Disney World at Epcot. But I'll tell you, the woman that played Elsa, Queen Elsa, and my daughter Lindsay told me on the way in, Dad, I'm hearing that this performer, and she knew she played on Wicked. A lot of times, whoever plays Elsa plays Wicked. She brought the house down. It was and then just the stage and everything. Yeah, just because it's not on Broadway doesn't mean these performers are second class. My daughter said that was the best Broadway performance she ever saw, to give you an idea. So, not surprised.
We saw Aladdin and Frozen on the ship, and you're right, they're amazing.
They are. The sets that they can have on board the ship. Amazing. Yes, they have multiple sets back there. It's not a dedicated Broadway stage. It's multiple sets for multiple shows. It's amazing what they can do.
The song Let It Go has been somewhat overplayed if you got a lot of little kids, but as a performance, that song, if you can do that song,
Absolutely.
it's quite moving, I think.
Absolutely.
It's great, especially, take all the Broadway production and all that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a great song. All right. Number 6.
Number 6, Mickey bars. There are free Mickey bars on board. And I think we don't want to get on board thinking there's Mickey bars around every corner. And I suggest Mickey bars every corner, but they're there. So you may not see them, but they're there. They are available from room service anytime. I've noticed that room service doesn't like to bring you just one Mickey bar. They tend to want to bring you 2 or 3. Be careful if you order there. You're probably going to get more than one. But either way, they're also available at all the meals in the dining rooms. They're on the kids menu. You won't see them on the adult menu, but they're there because they're on the kids menu for one reason, and you can order them anytime. It's one of my favorite go-to desserts on board. If I don't see anything that's appealing to me for lunch or dinner dessert, I get a Mickey bar every time. And I figure I'm making money back from my cruise, right? I'm not paying for them in the parks, getting a little bit of my money back.
They are really popular and they're good. They're better than anything you get in the stores. Yeah, get those. All right. Where are we up? Number 7?
Number 7, open house in the kids clubs. The kids clubs are amazing spaces, and you're going to walk into the kids clubs and go, I want to hang out here for a while and do some of these things. You can a little bit, especially the first afternoon. Just about all of them are open for the parents to come in and look around. So anyone's welcome to look around. And when they start closing down for just the kids for the supervised activities, which will be later in the afternoon that first day, they still during the sailing will have some open house times, and they'll list those in the navigator. And the open house time is when adults can visit. It's when maybe siblings that don't fit into that age group that's restricted for that club, or younger siblings, maybe children that are too young for the kids clubs. That's the time to take them in there and let them go to town and play.
Number 8.
Number 8, trivia. Trivia is one of my favorite things to do on board. We love trivia. I don't know why it's so good.
That's funny. I know. I can remember when Trivia Pursuit first came out. It was such a big raise. Everyone loved that. And yeah, I did this on my honeymoon years and years ago, and we had great fun. So I can understand. Yeah, it's funny. Of course, it's probably all Disney related.
They're not all Disney related. They have all kinds of topics. They have Star Wars trivia. They have Disney movie trivia, movie quotes trivia, which are not all Disney at all. It's one of my favorites. They have 80s music trivia, 90s. They have all kinds of general knowledge trivia. So sometimes you go in and you're horrible at them. It's still fun. The people that are leading it, the hosts, are still very fun, make it fun. And you usually learn something, some useless fact of some kind.
How is it set up? What's the staging for that?
It is normally in a nightclub of some kind, a lounge of some kind, and there will be family trivia and there'll be adult-only trivia all throughout the day. Okay. You'll go in, you'll get a trivia sheet, you'll write down the answers as they go through them. They'll show the questions up on the screen as well. You'll write down your answers, and then at the end, you'll either trade sheets with someone else to grade, or sometimes you'll grade your own and see who wins. And you usually have some kind of a little medal or something to give you at the end for the winners.
We found out how horrible we are with Disney trivia.
That's embarrassing. I know.
It was. And there were like 6 of us working together. But we had a great time.
It's better in that case to stick to the adult trivia so you're not embarrassed when the 7-year-olds beat you at this.
Yep.
I've been fortunate enough to know who in my community is a superstar in trivia, and I get them on my team.
That's brilliant.
So
you need a ringer. Absolutely.
We do a cruise with a bunch of our community. I'll know how to win trivia.
Right. That's right.
All right. Number 9 of the things you don't want to miss on a Disney cruise.
Okay. Number 9 is the adult nightlife. Disney does have some great spaces for just adults, and some spaces that close down to just adults at night. And there's some fun things. There's some fun activities, and there's things like Match Your Mate, which is a fun show to watch. It's like a newlywed game. It's fairly tame compared to many other cruise lines that I've seen it on, but it's still not something you necessarily want children in there hearing. And it's just adults. They play games. They'll do 80s music trivia in there late at night. I'm trying to think of some of the other games we play. Some of the other games are harder to describe, but a lot of team games that are fun to play. and with your friends that are there. And so it's hard sometimes to stay up for these things because they'll start at 9:30 or 10:30 at night. And that's rough after you've been in the sun all day. But if you can, I recommend staying up for them. The adult club hosts are so funny. They're so good at what they do. So we always enjoy it and we do make it up.
Did you stay out late, Judy, on your
We
cruise?
actually missed all of those. And the friends we traveled with said, "You didn't go to the Match Your Mate." I said, "We had one. I forgot. We never made it. I'm going to definitely try for it on the next cruise."
I think you're just worried you do horrible and match your mate.
No, I'm just going to be a watcher.
Oh, yes, just watch you.
Okay. Make fun of everyone else.
What, you think Ken would get up in front of everybody? No.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right. Last one of the things you don't want to miss on a Disney cruise.
The last one is silent DJ or silent disco, some people call it. This is one of those nighttime activities that's super fun. They also do it for families at times, and that's earlier in the evening. But the ones for just adults, and you may have seen it before as it's grown in popularity over the last few years. But there are headphones. Everyone in the club is wearing a pair of headphones, and the headphones have 3 different channels to choose from. One of them is usually 80s music. One of them is more Latin dance music, I would call it. And then the third is normally DJs picking those songs. And you choose whatever of those 3 channels you want to listen to. You flip through it all the time. You're like, oh, I'm bored of this song, and flip through the next one. Everyone's dancing. And I like to say, if you're a horrible dancer, it doesn't matter because people just assume you're listening to a different song than they are. No one knows. And it's very funny to observers as well, because if they walk by the club and look inside, they'll see 30 people dancing with absolutely no music playing and everybody dancing differently inside. Some people are singing horribly because they can't help it. My husband's one of those, when the music is in his ears, he's got to sing and he doesn't realize how loud he is because it's silent in the room. It's always funny.
Oh, I could embarrass myself on that. I'm a huge music fan. I would embarrass myself big time. That's good. Good fun. All right. We got through 20 tips and we got one more blog post I want to go through. And I know this is one Judy's interested in. I got some questions from the community that we could take a shot at too. This one is something did you just do this like really recently, right, Tammy?
Just last week. Was it last week? The
Yeah.
week before last? Yeah. We were there on the 7th of June, I believe.
What ship were you on?
We were on the Magic. We were on a preview cruise for Lookout Key, and then the Fantasy went the next week twice for the inaugural cruise. So the preview cruise, they warned us everything might not be ready, everything might not be open, but we were on that first sailing. I'm actually going back next week as well, so I'm excited to see what's changed since then.
Wow. What was the itinerary for your cruise?
This one was Nassau. It was just a 3-night, so just Nassau and Lookout Key.
Whereabouts is Lookout Key?
It is in the Bahamas. It's on the southern tip of an island called, I always hate saying the name of this island. It's a hard name to say, Eleuthera.
Eleuthera, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's on the southern tip of Eleuthera, which is an island in the Bahamas.
So is this another island that Disney bought?
They did not buy the whole island this time. That is the difference. Castaway Key, Disney bought the whole island. For Lookout Key, I should say Disney leased the whole island. Castaway Key, they leased for 100 years or something like that. Lookout Key, they actually did purchase the southern tip of this.
They must be doing well as an organization.
Yes, and those are those island destinations, we call them, are very popular.
So are you really excited to see this new island?
Yes, I was super excited to see it. I love Castaway, and so I was super excited to see it. I will say right from the beginning, there were some things that they were still working through. There's some kinks. I'm quite positive Castaway was not perfect when it opened either. It'll take them a little bit of time to work through some of them, although I've heard some of them have already been fixed, and I think it's only going to get better as time goes on. And I don't want to make it sound like we loved our day there. We had a great day there.
What's 10 things you learned on your visit to Lookout Key?
Okay, so the first thing, and the thing you may have seen a lot of people talking about, is a long pier. When Disney purchased this island, they made an agreement with the with the Bahamas to preserve the island as much as possible and minimize their impact. And one of the things that they agreed to at Castaway, Disney dug a large trench right up to the island so they can just pull right in and guests can get off and walk to a tram or walk to another part of the island. They could not do that with Eleuthera because they didn't want to damage any of the coral underneath. They built a very long pier out to where it was safe, to a safe distance past the coral, I assume. And the ship pulls right up to that. You get off the ship and it starts with a walk. You do have to walk down the pier. It is about 0.6 miles, which it looks super intimidating from the ship. The pictures make it look horrible. It looks much longer than it is. It is 0.6 of a mile. It is not much farther than a lot of people walk in Magic Kingdom all the time or Epcot all the time. But still, it's a long walk for if you weren't expecting it. It's about 10 to 12 minute walk. What makes it feel a little bit longer is the lack of shade right now. And I'm quite positive that Disney's working on that already. I've heard from a couple of different people that they're testing some different options to give it some shade. It's hot. Walking that far with no shade and nothing really to look at because it's just a long pier is intimidating. And for some people, and I will say right away, we were told multiple times, and I think this has played out over the next few cruises, that if anyone is mobility challenged and cannot make it down the pier, they can pre-arrange a golf cart at guest services. They don't want everybody doing that. They don't have enough golf carts. It would take all day to get everybody down there. But if you're mobility challenged, you can go to guest services the day before and arrange a golf cart to take you down there.
I have a question, Tammy.
Yeah.
I know that other cruise lines use part of that island also. Don't they tender those ships and have to take them in on tenders? And that's why Disney built that extra long pier so that everybody could get off the ship easily?
Yes, if you've tendered before, some people are fans of I'm not a fan of tenders. I want to avoid tendering whenever possible. It's just time consuming. What takes 10 to 12 minutes to walk down the pier would easily be a 45-minute experience when you're tendering. You've got to wait for a boat to get to you. You've got to wait your turn to get on the boat. You've got to get on the boat. You've got to float over there. You've got to get off the boat. It's a long experience. If I can walk and get it over with, that's what I want to do.
And people with mobility scooters like I have can't tender.
You're right. You're right.
So I think Disney made a wise choice I know that the pier has been controversial, but I think it's good that everybody can get off the ship.
No, you're absolutely right. And I've seen since our sailing, they're already trying to do some things to help while they're waiting probably to get shade over there. They put water halfway down the pier now. They've put somebody stationed down there with cold towels to pass out to pass out to the guest. And so they're already doing some things, whatever they can to help, and I'm sure it'll keep getting better.
That's good.
Yeah, because the sun can be intense in the Caribbean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Number 2 thing that you learned.
Number 2, the family cabanas. So the family cabanas on Castaway that you can rent for the day. They're very hard to get. It's generally only concierge can get them. They're gone so quickly because they're very popular. The family cabanas on Castaway are at the end of the family beach, and you can see them from the ship. You pass everything else, you get to the family beach, and that's where they are. The family cabanas on Lookout also have a nice view of the ship. You can see them from the ship. But they are, when you get off the ship at Lookout, you walk down the pier, and then at the end of the pier, you go through security, and then you board a tram. It's a 10 to 15-minute tram ride to the family beach. So that's what everybody does. The people at the family cabanas, they're actually right there. They're pretty much the only thing right there before you get on the tram. There is a small store kiosk, merchandise kiosk. There's a drink stand with specialty coffees and things like that you can purchase. But pretty much the only thing right there are those family cabanas. And I was concerned about that before I realized they'd put food there. And there is no food at the family cabanas in Castaway. You have to walk to the food station, which is not a big deal. You have to walk to the nearest restaurant. Here, they put a restaurant right in the middle of those cabanas. And they put a restaurant there. There's restrooms. There's a bar there. So really, you don't ever have to leave those cabanas if you didn't ever want to go over to the main area. I suspect, especially until people have been there a few times, everybody's going to want to go to the main area just to see it. But you do not have to. You could spend the whole day there. They're very removed. They're very private in that respect. The beach is pretty much empty because there's 20 cabanas there and that's it. They may not be the best location for families, which is ironic because they're the family cabanas, because children are going to want to go over to the main area to partake in some of the super fun like splash pads and stuff over there. For a group of adults, which we were, they were wonderful. For a group of families, if your child's going to want to go over there a lot, it's a little bit of a harder call.
Do you have to reserve those ahead of
You do.
time? Yeah.
You do, yeah. And they are very hard to get.
All right.
And they're very expensive.
They are very expensive. They're $800 for 10 people, 800, maybe 900. I'm trying to think of how much it was. 963, I think, with 10 people in it. Now, they do include snorkeling equipment for everybody, which is $38 a person if you were going to do that. They include bicycle rental, which is $18 if you were going to do that. If you're going to do some of those other things, it offsets the cost. And they come with those cabanas come with a stocked fridge of soda and water. They have some snacks in there. They have towels. They have nice chairs and loungers. They are very nice. It's nicer when you split it with friends. You don't have to pay for the whole thing, though.
You mentioned getting on a tram once you get off the pier. Can you put the scooters and wheelchairs on the tram, or do they have to go along next to it?
I believe, and we were talking about this yesterday, I did not see any, but I am sure there are some accessible where you can get the scooter on there. I'm almost positive that would happen, but I didn't see that. I'm going to look for that next week because I did have that question recently as well. But there are several trams.
Because you can at Castaway. You can get the scooter on the tram.
And that's why I'm assuming that it's going to be the same type thing. I'm guessing that not every single one of the trams has it, but there are multiple trams.
All right. Number 3, speaking of trams.
Speaking of trams, the trams are a bottleneck. When you get there in the morning, especially when everybody gets off the ship. Now, our sailing may have been a little bit different because it was the very first one. Everyone was very excited. And because it was the first one and the crew needed to get off and see the space for the first time themselves and the stations they were going to be working in, we didn't actually get off until around 10:30, which meant everybody was getting off the ship at the same time. When we got to the trams, it was a bottleneck there. Only that time in the morning, the rest of the day, whenever we walked up to catch a tram, we went over to the family side or we were coming back, we had no problems catching a tram later in the day. But they can be a bottleneck, especially first thing in the morning.
So maybe you don't have to rush to get off the boat because you're just going to hit a bottleneck anyway, possibly.
That's right.
The trams. Okay. Number 4.
The water and the beaches are beautiful. I tell you what, I have been to many beaches all over the world, and I've always said Turks and Caicos has the most beautiful water I've ever seen. It's stunning. I walked onto that family beach at Lookout and looked at the shade of that water and thought, oh my goodness, this is as beautiful as Turks and Caicos. It is clear. It is calm over there on the family beach. And it is the bluest shade of blue. Pictures do not do it justice. It was gorgeous water.
I'll say the picture looks pretty good.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. And the beach is wide, it's long, there's tons of seating. And we were told all the seating didn't even make it in time. We didn't even have all the beach chairs and lounge chairs that they wanted. So there's going to be even more. There's tons of umbrellas, tons of seating, lots of space for people.
Sand looks beautiful too.
It is nice and soft, yeah. They say it's pink sand. It's pink sand in the way that there's a pinkish tint to it when you really are looking. They say that about Bermuda too, and I thought I was expecting in Bermuda when I walked onto a beach, I was expecting bright pink sand, and I was like, this is not bright pink. And then I realized when I looked more closely, there is a pink hue to it, and there is a pink hue to this, a light pink hue, but they do say it's easier to see at night right before sunset in the golden hour, as they say. So lower your expectations on the pink sand, but it's beautiful sand.
Maybe if you put it in a bottle and take it home, you might see a little pink to it.
True. That's true.
All right, number 5.
Okay, number 5, Serenity Bay is in a great location. Serenity Bay is the adult beach. And the adult beach on Castaway is a couple of tram rides away from the ship. It's removed. You can't see the ship over there. The adults are over there all by themselves. They do have a restaurant over there, a bar over there, but they're over there all by themselves. On Lookout, Serenity Bay is right there in the main area, and it's right at the end of the family beach. And there's only 6 cabanas there. They're right there, and they're right there as you're walking into Serenity Bay. There's a restaurant there for all the adults, so it's really easy to pop into there, go out, see the rest of the island destination there, anything you want to see in there. They're in a good location. It's a busier location than Castaway's version, but it's still a good location.
I have a question about Serenity Bay.
Yeah.
On Castaway, with the scooter, when I got out there, I could not get to the restaurant because it was all sand.
Yeah.
Is
Oh.
that the same? And I learned about driving a scooter in the sand. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. But on Lookout can you get to the food and everything at Serenity Bay on a scooter?
You
Is it
can.
paid?
You can. Lookout, one of the things they did to help preserve the island is that they built their buildings and walkways. They built them up higher above the ground. So there's walkways, there's like decks to walk to different places
Oh, nice.
because they were trying to preserve the flora and the fauna underneath.
Mhm.
And so you're not walking on as much sand, only if you're out on the beach. So I would think that would help a lot with wheelchairs.
Nice. Good.
All right, number 6.
Number 6, merchandise. They're good at merchandise, and they did a good job here. There's lots of fun things that you can't get anywhere else. Lots of fun Lookout Key specific things. And the lines that first day were absolutely crazy for merchandise, which won't surprise you at all, I'm sure. But they were absolutely crazy. But I'll tell you what, they didn't sell out of anything. They were so well stocked, which Disney does not always do. And we were told that they have a whole warehouse somewhere full of all this stuff. They weren't worried about anything selling out. And we didn't see anything sell out. They did a really good job with that.
What'd you get?
Let's see, what did I get? I got a beach bag. I got a towel. I shouldn't list all these things, but I get in trouble later when my...
Is your accountant listening? Good stuff. I love the merch.
Yes.
Number 7 of the things that you learned.
Number 7 is there is no snorkeling lagoon. There is snorkeling on Lookout, and I think snorkeling at both of these places is very reasonably priced. It's $38 to rent everything, and you can bring your own snorkeling gear if you wanted to, and then we'll just use one of their bright yellow vests, and you can use that at no cost. But they want everyone that's snorkeling wearing those, so they will be able to spot you easily. But on Castaway, there's a dedicated snorkeling lagoon. And everyone that's in this lagoon, it's on the side of one of the family beaches. Everyone that's in this lagoon is snorkeling. No one's in there that's not snorkeling. And they have sunk some cool stuff under the water there that you'll want to swim out and find and see all over the water. It's well marked, so it's easy to find when you're snorkeling. In Lookout, you can still snorkel, and the water is beautiful and clear, and so it's great snorkeling, but they didn't think anything. And that goes back to them preserving the Bahamian Island and everything, their underwater life there. But you definitely can still snorkel. You're just not going to find the sunken treasures.
All right. I love the water. Number 8 of the things you learned.
Number 8, there is no 5K on the... So I know.
Oh, Kurt, you can't... You won't be able to do your run now, Kurt.
That's horrible. Forget this. I'm not doing this one.
It's very, very sad. I know. On Castaway, the 5K, the 5K is very popular, and for whatever reason, it's very popular.
I know.
And yeah, it's changed a little bit over the years, but it's very popular. On Lookout right now, there is room for it on a nature trail that they have built into the island area there, but at the moment, there is no 5K. That could definitely change, but they have not started that at this point.
It's amazing how popular Run Disney is.
It is.
They could do 30,000 steps without running a step at Disney. That's a commentary I'll save. I'll probably not be a popular one in my audience. Number 9 of things you learned.
Let's see. The family play and the kids areas are great. They have built some really neat things over there. There is a kids club on the island, just like there is at Castaway as well. There's a kids club, so you can go check your kids in, have a blast playing in this little splash pad in there. They've built a huge splash pad water slide area right there on land. And that's a little bit different than Castaway, because in Castaway, they've built a big water slide with water features, and it's in the water. And so you have to swim out to it. You have to be able to swim out to it. You can do it with a life jacket, but you still have to be able to swim out to it. At Lookout, it's right there. And I should say there is a small splash pad as well on Castaway, but it's meant for smaller children. There's not as many features. It's really just the water. But at Lookout, it's huge. It was super popular. The kids loved it. It was busy all day. It's really well done. It's called...
Didn't you notice they must have taken surveys or somehow, and I can understand why I would have loved this as a kid, but these splash play areas. They built them all over Disney World, and it's interesting. They made it a priority here. The picture's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is.
Fantastic. Yes, I think I always love those little water guns blasting everybody going by.
Yes.
Can I go there and play too? It's probably the coolest place on the island.
Absolutely.
I like it. Did you say here the little children's feet won't get burned because
That's right. They build the concrete. It has it's a cooling concrete, so the kids' feet don't burn.
or
That's
your
great.
parents if you're watching your kids.
That's
Right.
a cool idea.
That's important. All right. The last thing you learned on your trip over to Lookout Key.
Oh, okay. So Disney made a big deal of how they were going to celebrate the Bahamian culture with this location, and they really did a good job with it. They're one of the best things I think they did is there is a show in a outdoor pavilion theater kind of place that's called Rush, a Junkanoo Celebration, and it is live music. It is a celebration of Bahamian music, of the bright color outfits, of all of it. And it's a parade. It's a show inside, and it's a parade through the main area. It was really fun. And I recommend everybody take a little bit of time to go see it. And if you miss it, you can catch the parade as they're going out or going in. It's really fun. They also have a large store in the middle with some Bahamian artists are displaying their work that you can purchase, paintings and sculptures and things like that. Really neat. And it's different than what they have on Castaway. You really do feel more of the Bahamian culture there and present on this one.
Well, I love that. That's fantastic.
Tammy, I know that there are people that actually live on this island now, and there are other cruise ships that are coming in. This is only Disney, but I've been reading things that they do allow some of the Bahamian people to come in as day guests. Have you heard anything about that?
That is true. That was part of their agreement as well, that it's a public beach and Disney cannot restrict residents from coming in. So they can come in, they can use the beach, things like that. They can't get in everywhere. They cannot get in the children's programming areas. Those are restricted to Disney guests. They can purchase a day pass if they want to get food and beverages and things like that. They can purchase a day pass there. And I'll tell you, there's not that many people on the island. I think 12,000 was the number I heard. So it's not like they're going to overrun the area when the cruise ships are there. We didn't notice a single difference, but it is possible that you will see some Bahamian locals there.
That's nice. You can meet people from somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. What would be your final thoughts then, Tammy, on your wonderful first trip to Lookout Key?
So I really did love it. We had a great day. It's funny, we had a hot day because partly our own fault. We were running around trying to see everything as fast as we could in the morning, and we were just so hot and exhausted by the time, just dying to get in the water, and the water has never felt so good. But it's a great location. It's going to be really popular over time. Disney's already fixing some of the things we did. I should mention the first day we had a problem with flies, and I think that's been talked about enough. I should probably say something. We didn't have a problem with flies all day, but at mealtime, at lunch, there were flies. We were very excited that there was this large buffet spread out on the island that they had never seen before. And so the flies swarmed the lunch buffets. And I learned a very important fact that day, and that is that flies do not like ice cream. Ice cream it was for a lot of us. But I've already heard they've already to mitigate that. In the last couple cruises, people have said they barely noticed any flies at all at lunch. That's good. They're already fixing some things that needed to be worked out. Disney listens to feedback, and especially when it's as loud as some of this feedback was, and they're already fixing some of it. But either way, it's a really neat location. I've heard several people say that they like Lookout more than Castaway. It's a different experience. It's definitely a different experience. There's things that you'll notice that are the same about both of them. Some things you can expect about them, but it is a different experience, which we didn't want a carbon copy of the same island. We wanted somewhere different to experience, I think.
I saw pictures of the different kinds of food that was offered, and it looks like it's a bigger variety than what they offer at Castaway. The food at Castaway was fine. It was good. We enjoyed it. But this looked like it had more what you'd find on the ship. Different kinds of food, different stations.
I agree. It did. It had it set up in stations, and it had lots of fresh fish dishes. There was chicken and rice bowls. There were some really neat things that we did not Castaway.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
I'm
I
so
think
glad.
I love it.
I'm so glad you were here to give us the run of Lookout Key. Now I always like to bring on my community. I posted in our Facebook group if they had any questions for you. So I've got a few just to finish off here,
Yep.
Tammy. Cousin Heather says, what room or cruise should you book if you have bad motion sickness?
I loved your answer, Kurt. A river cruise.
That wasn't me. That was Daniel Ginger.
Oh, was that Daniel?
Yes.
That is true.
He's
There is
probably
no
right, though.
There is no motion on a river cruise. Yeah, that is true. There are some itineraries that are known to have calmer waters, like Alaska. Alaska's super calm waters. It's mostly because it's in between two stretches of land in the inside passage of Alaska, as they call it. There is a small chance you could have a wider, rougher day getting out there, but I've never had it. I know it's happened. I've never had it. But once you get buffeted between those two pieces of land, it is smooth as can be. So there's some itineraries like that are known for being smooth. I'd avoid hurricane season. The waters are probably going to be a little bit rougher during hurricane season if you're worried about it. And I like to think of a cruise ship on water as a cruise ship balancing on the edge of a pencil. And the part that moves the least is the lower decks midship. And so if you're really concerned about it, go low deck midship. Otherwise, stick to midship and you should be okay.
I've heard Alaska is like you'd be surprised how great those cruises are.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm doing, I think my 6th or 7th Alaska next month. It's just that good. You just keep going back. It's just beautiful.
And previous authors I've had on really did talk great things about the river cruises in Europe. So don't discount those.
Don't discount those. I also love river cruises in Europe. Love them. They are great vacations.
For touring around Europe.
Our cruise in January was pretty smooth, but we did have one night, which the captain kind of warned us about when we were leaving, and I probably should have listened better. But when we're in the theater and I'm watching the curtains sway back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
And we were forward. We were on deck 6 forward, and we had no problem.
Good.
Tammy, one of our super moms, Holly Austin, they have 4 kids, and she's wondering on tips on cruising with a large family.
Okay.
Does Disney have accommodations for families larger than 5 without having to book 2 staterooms?
So yes and no. They do, but once you get above 5, you're going to be in concierge rooms. And those are significantly more expensive in a lot of cases. There are rooms that sleep 6 and up in concierge. If you're otherwise, there are several options that sleep 5, especially on the newer ships. They have several options. The Dream and the Fantasy even have ocean view rooms that sleep 5, which is great. But if you have a family of 6, you're probably gonna want to do 2 rooms. And it doesn't have to cost a fortune. If you're looking to save money and you really want a veranda, maybe you get a veranda, an inside room right across the hall from you. So you're very close to each other. But otherwise, 2 connecting rooms is probably going to be the way that you're going to want to go.
And the thing that's great about cruises is when you book it, you actually pick the rooms you want. It's not like when you stay at a resort, Disney says, oh, we'll give you this room and that room. You can choose your room.
Where Disney says, we'll take your request, but it's just a request.
Right. This one, you book a specific room.
That's right.
Excellent tips. Wendy Fox asks, she's been on 2 Disney cruises and they both seem near capacity. Is there a downtime in cruising?
There is a slower time and a less expensive time because Disney doesn't fill their ships as easily, but I will say that pretty much every sailing goes out full. And whether that's because they've offered some cast member discounts or something else at the end to fill it up, they pretty much all do go full. Now, you have better odds of not being on a full ship if you're the long itineraries during the school year. You're going to have very few kids, which will mean the rooms aren't as full. There's not 4 people in each room or 2. Each room is not at capacity. So even though all the rooms are sold out, there's not quite as many people on board. And those long sailings during the school year are like Panama Canal, which we just saw today come back for the first time in several years, which everyone's excited about, and in 2026, which is in April, I believe, of 2026. So right in the middle of school. So many parents are not going to want to take their children out for that. Transatlantic, Trans-Pacific, both long cruises during the school year. Those itineraries typically have a very small children count and you not always completely full either.
Awesome answer.
Good point.
Jen Batchelder, which ship feels the least crowded? Similar question.
That is a good question. I am not sure. I'm not sure.
What's the biggest one?
Wish class ships and the Wish and then the upcoming Treasure are the biggest ships, although they have the same number of people as the Dream and the Fantasy.
Okay.
They do have a little bit more space, so maybe I would say the Wish, because they're generally made, the amount of the smaller ships, the Magic and the Wonder are smaller, but they have less people. As the ship gets bigger, the people get bigger. The Wish is a little bit bigger than the Dream and the Fantasy, but it is the same number of people. So the Wish and the upcoming Treasure would probably be my suggestion.
The only time that we felt that it was busy, because our ship was at capacity, was in the evening in the atrium when everybody wanted to see all the characters
Yes.
and getting into the theater for the shows.
Yes.
Other
There are
than
just
that-
a few times you'll feel that.
Yeah, other than that, we had no problem.
Yeah. You don't feel it all the time.
No,
There are
you
just
don't.
a few things that you do.
So, Jen, you just got to know how to beat the crowds. There you go. Just like Disney World. Last question from Christy Houston. Which itineraries does she recommend? Most of those in wheelchairs that are most accessible.
Okay. I would probably, all the ships are made to accommodate wheelchairs and the staterooms and all of that. The Wish has taken a little bit of heat because it's got the pool deck is separated into so many levels, and some of the elevators don't go all the way to the top. There's a few complaints like that. It's harder to navigate. You sometimes will get off an elevator and have to get on another elevator. That's on the Wish class ships. So you might want to avoid that if it's not horrible, but you can have to spend a little more time doing that. So the Dream and the Fantasy are great. The ships are all great. The ports are going to vary pretty widely on what's available. It is my first instinct would say to stick with the itineraries that Disney has done for a long time, because these excursions they've done for a long time. They know how they run. They know what works well, and you're going to get good reviews of it and a real honest review of whether or not it'll work for a wheelchair or another accessible issue. But also, when you're searching for excursions on the Disney Cruise Line site, there is a box you can check to filter out the excursions that will work with wheelchairs. Some are there's three boxes, I think. One of them is wheelchair transfer and one of them is wheelchair accessible. And so you can select that box and it'll show you all the excursions that are wheelchair accessible.
Awesome.
So that will help you narrow it down too.
Yeah, great. I know Christy has a daughter that's in a wheelchair. That's all I have, guys. And Judy, I don't know, did you get all your questions answered?
I did, but I have a couple of questions just for Tammy.
Okay.
Okay.
How many cruises have you been on?
I have been on Disney. I've been on 58.
Okay.
You actually know how many. That's impressive. That's a big number.
You're definitely Pearl, right?
I am Pearl. I'm double Pearl, as my friends say.
And what other cruise lines have you sailed on?
I've sailed on several. I've sailed several times on Royal Caribbean, a few times on Celebrity. I've done a few river cruises. I've done Princess, Atlas, some small expedition ships. Yeah.
Would you recommend others go on cruises?
A little bit, yeah.
Preaching to the choir?
I love cruising.
I guess
Now,
so.
In reading your biography, it says you are a Space Force wife.
I am. My husband is in the Space Force. That is correct.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Has he been in space at all?
No, they control satellites, like GPS satellites.
Oh, okay.
Like that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
Congratulations on becoming the full-time author for
Thank you.
Unofficial Guide. We love the Unofficial Guide. It's my favorite go-to source, especially for beginners.
Mine
And
too.
Thanks to Lillian. Oh, Judy's holding up her 2024 book. Thanks to Lillian, who's always been gracious with the authors to come on, and I thoroughly enjoy. I know the audience loves hearing from you. Tammy, when does the book come out?
It will come out. It's going to be available for pre-order very soon, if not already on Amazon, and it'll be released probably the first week of December.
Okay. Good luck. I hope you hit your deadline. Hope I
Thank you.
didn't keep you too late. And
No, it should be good. Should be good.
you're in good shape. All right. Thanks again. I hope we get to talk to you again sometime.
All right. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
So nice to meet you.
You too.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Tammy, thank you so much. That was an Incredible. That's over 30 tips for your Disney cruising, and just fantastic. Best of luck with you with the release of the book coming out this year. And thanks from our geeks with the questions. Cousin Heather, Holly Austin, Wendy Fox, Jen Batchelder, and Christy Houston. I love when I can bring that little touch of our Disney community, especially to these authors, just to show we've got a great audience listening to the show. Thank you, my friends and geeks. Loved the intro from my friend Andy Hoffman, and I could use some more intros. If you'd like to send me an intro, they're easy to do. Tell me your name, where you're from, maybe a Disney hack or two, or something you love about Disney World. And you go geeking on Walt Disney World with Curtis and the whole Geekin' family. Email them to me at kurt.stone@geekinonww.com. Thank you, everyone who has been supporting the Traveling Tiaras. I've got a couple of episodes coming up. We got the Destinations by Disney with Megan Dorsey. She went to Morocco. I recorded that. I recorded a bunch this week. And last week, we got quite a few episodes already recorded. Cousin Heather does her trip to Paris, and more great episodes coming to you soon. But I'd love to have some intros. And those are 2 great trips that booked with the Traveling Tiara. So thank you so much, guys, when you support Mom and Judy and their small business. We really do appreciate it. And shout out to Sean Lenny. Sean became my latest Patreon supporter. Patreon.com is a site you can go out to. Look for Geekin' on WDW. You can pledge a monthly or annual contribution to the show. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Sean. You'll be hearing his trip report coming up pretty soon, too. He did just an awesome trip report. He was fantastic. Another geek I found out there who's been listening to the show for a long time, but just recently did a trip report with me. So again, thank you for your Patreon support. I did release another episode. It's a bonus episode I call The Inner Circle. It is Meet a Geek with Susan Cox, and that is out there. I promoted it through my Facebook group, but if you'd like to be on that Meet a Geek series and you're a Patreon supporter, please reach out to me. I'd love to do some more of those recordings, even this week. Okay, geeks? If you're listening to this, I need someone to share their insights of their Disney expertise on the Insider Circle podcast. I appreciate all your support, friends. And we're going to keep bringing you more Disney content every single week. We're committed to helping you enjoy your Disney World vacations. Reach out to us if you'd like to do a trip report, book trips, or review plans for trips. kurt.stone@geekinonww.com. Thanks for going geeking on Walt Disney World with us. We really appreciate you listening and geeking with us every single day. We love you, geeks. Keep taking care of each other. Have a magical day, and I hope all your dreams come true. Look for a post in the Facebook group this week. We're going to do some planning for our New York City trip with Kevin Curtis Allen, who's coming to New York City September 7th that weekend. Samantha and I have been chatting on the text message this past week, and we are going to be doing some planning, get that settled. And I'm thinking it's probably Wednesday night, but be on the lookout for that invite in the Facebook group. I'd love for you to join and get your input on the New York City trip.